Aaliyah finds Kelsey. Kelsey's about to make a move. She gets off the ball. Now look at Kelsey Mitchell start slow walking. Like, just look at this. She's not moving. She's not sprinting. Aaliyah's right there at the top of the key. Like, just look at them. They just walking straight still. Like, oh, all right, go ahead, Kaylin. Leaving Kaylin on an island. Kaylin gets off the ball. Now her and Kelsey on top of each other. Monique Billings and Aaliyah on top of each other. Yo, I ain't gonna lie. This might be the dumb, this coaching will literally drive anybody. Like, what is this? Why is Monique Billings and Aaliyah together? Why is Kelsey Mitchell and Caitlin Clark together? Like, do we know what spacing means? like, why is it, like, this is every play on every night?
Like, look at this. Look, pass the ball. Pass the ball. Pass the ball. Look, Caitlin wide open. Clank. Pathetic. Well, let's watch it again one more time. Look, Caitlin's wide open. Nobody's on her. Look. This is pathetic.
Caitlin Clark is standing wide open on the perimeter, hands ready, calling for the ball, and not a single teammate even looks her way. She's not covered. She's not boxed in by a double team. She's just standing there, completely alone, while 4 other players run their own private version of the offense, like she isn't even on the floor with them. This isn't bad luck. This isn't a random possession that got lost in the shuffle of a fast-paced game. Anyone watching that footage with 2 working eyes can see exactly what's happening. Caitlin Clark is not getting the ball, and it is starting to look like her own teammates simply don't want to give it to her.
Shots. Missing open shots because she knows she has to hurry up and get them up. She knows I'm coming out of the game between the 4-minute, the 2.5 minute mark. I'm coming out. So I got to be aggressive early. She knows I cannot pass up any shot. I have to probe and look for my shot early in possessions, because once I pass it to Aaliyah or Kelsey or anybody, I'm never getting it back. This is a shitty situation, man. Pardon my language. I didn't want Caitlin Clark the hell off this team. I want Caitlin Clark the hell away from this front office. I want her the hell away from this goofball clown of a coach.
Think about how rare this actually is in professional basketball. Every single team in this league builds its offense around getting the ball to its most dangerous scorer. That's not a controversial coaching philosophy. That's the basic strategy that every single franchise follows. So when you watch possession after possession, where the most feared shooter on the roster doesn't touch the ball for extended stretches, that's not a scheme issue. That's a group of players either unwilling or unable to make the simple read of getting the ball to their best option.
Maybe this team just peaked too early. Maybe during those 2 back-to-back win streaks in the middle of the season, maybe we just peaked too early. You guys let me know. But I'm really not seeing a lot of plays ran for Caitlin Clark. I'm not seeing many hard screens ran for Caitlin Clark. I'm really not seeing anything to get her open outside of iso ball.
Clark brings the ball up the floor, does exactly what a point guard is supposed to do, and gives it up early to keep the offense moving and unselfish. That's textbook basketball. That's the kind of play that gets praised in every single coaching manual ever written. But watch what happens after that pass leaves her hands. She doesn't get it back. Not once. The ball goes from teammate to teammate, swinging around the perimeter, working its way through every single player on the floor except her. And by the time the shot clock winds all the way down, someone else is forcing up a contested 3 while Clark is standing in the corner, still waiting for a ball that never comes back around to her.
They lost is because of stupid coaching and free throws. I mean, there was one point Caitlin Clark was actually playing good and they benched her. It made no sense. And then Boston, I'm telling you, somebody got to curse her out, bro. The way she's playing basketball is pissing me off. I hate the way she's shooting the ball lately, and she's just making me mad. Her lazy.
If this happened once, you'd call it a fluke. You'd chalk it up to a broken play or a miscommunication on a busy possession. But it keeps happening, game after game, and at some point fans stop calling it a coincidence and start calling it exactly what it looks like on the screen in front of them.
Oh, you know, Kelsey Mitchell, your defender could have literally been playing the ball from behind you. So you're literally doing all this, dropping it so nonchalantly. Phoebus could have literally just came and stole the ball right here because you want to throw a little hissy fit again. Kaylin gets the ball and look at Kelsey Mitchell with her hands up, just standing right there. No effort to sprint. Aaliyah Boston, no effort to sprint. No flashing to the nail, nothing. Like, look at this. This is embarrassing, chat. Leaving Kaylin on an island. Like, man, I'm done with this team, chat. I'm not even going to sit up here and lie to y'all. Then, I posted this right here that Kelsey Mitchell leads all scorers with 9 points in the first quarter, and the Fever are losing by 7. Once again, back to the good old days where Kelsey scores, but the Fever loses the game. Kelsey can score as much as she wants. It won't translate to any wins because Caitlin is not facilitating. She's not creating advantages. So Kelsey can score all the points she wants. Eventually, you can't score 100 points by yourself, Kelsey. And it's going to take that to beat us.
Now let's talk about the Liberty game, because this is the one clip that really sums up everything going on here. Clark has the ball at the top of the key. The defense hasn't even collapsed on her yet, so she's doing exactly what a smart, disciplined guard is supposed to do. She's looking to make the right play instead of forcing something bad into a crowd. She scans left. Nobody. She scans right. Nobody. She looks for a cutter, someone flashing hard to the basket, someone relocating along the baseline to give her a clean passing window. And there's nothing there for her. Nobody moved. Nobody cut. Nobody gave her anywhere at all to put the ball except right back into her own hands.
Giving Caitlin Clark the keys. Letting Caitlin Clark run the game. In fact, I want the Fever to have more turnovers because it means Caitlin Clark is running the game. You know what that means? That means they'll have more assists. They'll have more fluidity. They'll have more rhythm. Players will have more motivation to be in their spots. Lexi Ho has spoken about it. How she knows where to be and how she gets rewarded for it because in the past, she wouldn't be hit before. But, you know, it is what it is. I want you guys to watch this little clip real quick. Aaliyah finds Kelsey. Kelsey's about to make a move. She gets off the ball. Now look at Kelsey Mitchell start slow walking. Yeah, seeing Kelsey Mitchell start slow walking right here. Once again, for those who missed it, Kelsey was trying to get in her bag, start making her move, and she realized that Caitlin was coming to get the ball. Now Kelsey Mitchell just drops the ball with an attitude like, all right, go ahead and take it. Look, just drop.
While Clark is scanning the floor for someone, anyone, to give the ball to, every single one of her teammates is standing completely still like statues. Nobody is cutting back door. Nobody is relocating to the opposite wing. Nobody is setting a flare screen to free themselves up for even half a second. In a functioning offense, when the primary ball handler starts looking for a pass against the Liberty's aggressive defense, teammates react instantly. They move with purpose. They create an angle for her to work with. Here, it's like watching a photograph frozen in time. 5 grown professional athletes on the floor, and 4 of them just froze in place, while the 5th one desperately searched for someone willing to help her out of a tough spot. That is the exact moment referenced at the start of this video. Caitlin was trying to look for a pass against the Liberty, and guess what happened? Nobody was there. Nobody. Not a single body in motion to bail her out.
Clark played small forward for the entire first half of the game, all the way until about 4 minutes left in the third quarter when the Indiana Fever were down by 9. The girl was playing small forward. Aaliyah Boston brought the ball up the whole first 3.5 quarters. This is ridiculous. This is now Caitlin Clark not involved the first 3 quarters. She got to go one-on-one over and over and over to try to get involved. Nobody passed her the ball not named Sophie Cunningham. This shit is ridiculous, man. This is ridiculous. Caitlin Clark forced the jack-up shots in the first 5 seconds of the shot clock because she knows, God forbid, if she passes the ball to anybody, it's impossible for her to get the ball back at any point in a given possession. It's ridiculous. Bro, Stephanie White played Aaliyah Boston at point guard for 3.5 quarters. I'm ready to lose my mind.
This is where it really starts to make sense why Clark's shooting numbers have taken a hit in certain stretches this season. There was still plenty of time left, more than enough time to work the ball around, reset, get a genuinely better look at the rim. But Clark rushes up a heavily contested shot with 2 defenders draped all over her, well before she needed to force anything at all. Why would a smart, experienced, veteran-minded guard do that to herself? Because she knows if she gives that ball up right now, with her teammates standing frozen the way we just watched, there's a real chance she never sees it again for the rest of that possession. So she forces the issue herself instead of trusting a pass that might not ever come back her way.
Go full first half, ISOing all day, no teamwork, slow basketball, the ball not moving around. I mean, it's ridiculous work what we're doing out here. Then we get to the closing side of the game. AB going up with a contested shot. I mean, I don't know what she was throwing up at the end. Caitlin Clark throwing up a contested shot. I don't know what she had going on with this ISO stuff. Why are we ISOing when we just saw evidence that if we run the pick and roll, we can get a good look. Right? The entire first half was nasty work. ISO this, ISO that. I mean, my eyes felt like somebody dropped lemon drops in them, dog. It was hurting me watching.
Clark will hold the ball, wait patiently, hope someone gives her an outlet, and gets absolutely nothing in return for her patience. And then later, she's clearly learned her lesson from moments exactly like that. So instead of waiting around again and risking the same outcome, she just puts the shot up early and hopes it falls through the net. That's not a point guard playing bad, careless basketball. That's a point guard adjusting in real time to teammates who have shown her over and over across multiple games that once the ball leaves her hands, it isn't coming back around. When you can't trust your own teammates to reset the possession and find you again, you start taking shots you normally wouldn't even consider, and you start missing shots you'd normally make with ease, simply because you rush them out of pure necessity instead of natural rhythm. Think about how backwards this whole situation actually is when you step back and look at the bigger picture. Caitlin Clark is the single biggest reason ticket sales, television ratings, and merchandise numbers have gone through the roof for this entire franchise. She is the player defenses build their entire game plan around every single night. She is the one drawing double teams and full attention the second she crosses half court. And instead of her own teammates using that gravity to their advantage, cutting hard off the ball, relocating to open space, giving her easy outlets to work with, they're doing the exact opposite of what smart basketball would suggest. They're standing still and letting her get swallowed up by 2, sometimes 3 defenders, with absolutely nowhere productive to go with the basketball.
She is putting on MVP caliber play, but she got teammates that wants to hold the ball like they Michael Jeffrey Jordan or somebody. Like, this is nasty. She's setting people up, getting people open, all type of stuff. Busting people. 21, 7, and 4. 50%. Like, what are we talking about? Look at this, look. Look at that. Perfectly set up. Perfectly set up. This is crazy. I'm happy we lost. And I hope we keep losing.
Clark gets trapped by 2 defenders near half court, a situation where every single basketball fundamentals ever taught says a teammate should be sprinting over immediately to set a screen or flash into the open space she's creating, just by drawing that kind of attention. You can actually see her mouth moving in the footage, calling out for someone, anyone, to come get open for her. Nobody comes to help. She's stuck there, dribbling in place under pressure, surrounded on all sides, until she's forced to throw up a difficult, low-percentage pass, just to get rid of the ball before it gets stolen away from her. That's not a defensive scheme breaking her down by accident. That's teammates choosing, whether consciously or not, to leave her isolated instead of helping her escape a genuinely bad spot on the floor.
Yeah, Stephanie White doing the yapping that she does. Caitlin Clark doesn't want to hear it. Physically cringing. Look at this. Physically cringing, looking physically ill. Physically ill by whatever Stephanie White's saying. Like, damn, I'm tired of hearing this. But hey. Trying to run away. Stephanie White says, no, get over here. Get over here, Cece. Let me talk to you. Don't you walk away from me. Like, yeah, I'm walking away.
And you can see exactly how this is affecting her mentally in this next clip. Watch her body language as she walks back to the huddle after that possession, arms out to her sides, head shaking slightly in visible disbelief. This isn't a manufactured reaction for the cameras or for social media attention. This is a genuine competitor who knows exactly what just happened on that possession, knows she did everything right by the book, and is visibly frustrated that the players around her didn't hold up their end of the deal. When you watch enough of these clips back to back, it stops looking like isolated frustration from one single bad play here or there. It starts looking like the accumulated weight of an entire season of the same exact thing happening over and over again, and there's only so many times a competitor like Clark can bite her tongue about it before that frustration starts showing up plainly on her face during live national television. Tiding to be the unselfish floor general everyone always talks about wanting, and her reward for playing that way is isolation, frozen teammates, and forced shots that get labeled as inefficiency by people who clearly aren't watching the full picture.
Right, late in the third, we start to figure out, oh, if we run the pick and roll, we can not only get Caitlin a mid-range shot, not only get somebody a lay at the rim, we can also not take the shot and find an Aaliyah Boston in the corner. We can find a Sophie in the corner if we just take our time and focus and move the ball around, not panic. Then all of a sudden we figure that out. Oh my goodness, look how it works. Look how it works.
This is the part that should make every genuine basketball fan a little upset watching this unfold night after night. Good teammates read the floor instinctively. When your best player draws 2 defenders toward her, you move immediately to fill the space she just created for you. When your point guard is scanning the floor for an outlet, you flash hard to the ball or relocate to give her an easy, obvious target. When she gives the ball up early to keep the offense honest and unselfish, you find a way to get it back into her hands later in the same possession, so the defense can't just key in on everyone else on the floor. None of that is complicated basketball theory. It's the most basic version of team basketball imaginable, the kind of stuff that gets drilled into players from the time they're competing in middle school gyms.
Look at the baby go. Watch her work. Look. Got Michaela out there looking amazing, man. Shout out KK, man. Steps up and handles that business. Look at that. Straight to the rack. She too little. Straight to the rack. We looking at the best thing that's in the WNBA. Look at this. Over Angel. Oh my goodness. Splash. Splash. 3. Look. Get up. Oh, right there. What you gonna do, Harris? Bang! That's what I'm talking about. Look at the baby go. Putting the team on her back. Meaty. I thought she didn't have a meaty, y'all. Look at that. Look. Don't give me too much space. Look at that. Oh, you watch it too hard. Look, let's go, Boston. Come here. Oh, look at that bag. Over Angel. Look at that.
And to prove this isn't asking for anything remotely unreasonable, look at this right here, because this is exactly what it's supposed to look like every single time. A teammate sees Clark get trapped near the sideline, immediately relocates to the open wing, gives her a clean and obvious passing lane, and the ball finds its way back into her hands just a few seconds later with a much better look at the basket than she would have had otherwise. The fact that this exists as a highlight, as something that genuinely stands out because it's so rare compared to everything else we just watched, tells you everything you need to know about how the rest of these possessions have actually been going all season long.
Caitlin Clark can be as great as anybody. She can be Michael Jordan, Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes. She can be anybody. As long as she got Hayona over there as a coach, Mr. Crab's daughter over there as a coach, and as long as she got that ball hog on her team that's messing up the whole team chemistry, we're going to keep losing. And we not winning the championship. So as long as that coach is over there, and as long as that ball hog keep doing the same thing she doing, Indiana Fever fans, Caitlin fans, y'all may as well get championships out of y'all heads. It's not happening. Listen, if Stephanie White keeps doing that gimmick she has going on over there, being weird, we are not winning anything. We'll be lucky.
The difference is night and day, and it shows that this isn't some impossible standard being demanded of anyone. It's the bare minimum, and even the bare minimum has been missing far too often. So here's the real question everyone should be asking themselves after watching all 10 of these clips back to back. If Caitlin Clark's own teammates are willing to stand still, freeze up, and leave her stranded on possession after possession against teams like the Liberty, is it really just about basketball IQ? Or is something else entirely going on in that locker room that isn't being said out loud in front of the cameras? At some point, the tape simply stops lying, no matter how anyone tries to spin it afterward, and the tape right now is telling a very uncomfortable story about how Caitlin Clark's own team is treating the best and most important player on their entire roster.